The Battlefield 6 trailer just dropped, officially revealing the next game in this storied franchise. And I gotta say, it's actually really good. As someone who grew up on the classic Battlefield games, this feels like it was made for me. If you missed playing Battlefield 3 back in the day, this game feels like a continuation or even an evolution of that vibe, recreating many of the iconic Battlefield 3 shots, like the Abrams tanks pushing through an open desert, Middle Eastern city conflicts, amphibious vehicles launching out of an aircraft carrier. There's no question that Battlefield 3 served as the visual style guide for this game, albeit with a little less of that blue tint. Backing up the visuals is an epic Bob Dylan Masters of War remix with the classic Battlefield beat mixed in, and honestly it made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Marketing absolutely nailed it in every regard. It's a little fan servicey, but in a more subtle way, not loaded with blatant callouts to gimmicky Battlefield tactics or base drop reveals of some mega weather event. Instead, it focuses on establishing the feel of a conflict that feels real and intense. The trailer feels like it was made for veteran fans of this franchise and not some brainless gamer who can be easily swayed by some big dumb feature. Instead, it establishes a feeling, a familiar feeling, an old school feeling, and it makes me want to feel that more. It brings a classic military focus, big set-piece maps with epic destruction events, and a fictional conflict that feels like it could be just real enough. In fact, this trailer puts a pretty good emphasis on the narrative, establishing the conflict with what appears to be a major strike on New York City. We see an Apache helicopter smash through a high-rise apartment building in New York, clearly setting this as an attack on US soil and not just hitting military targets. The president leads off a press conference announcing an unprovoked attack on the US and a threat to the Pax Armada mercenaries who seem to be behind the attack. And skipping to the end, we have the usual wish list call to action and an announcement that the multiplayer reveal will happen on July 31st. And at this point, I can tell you that I've been invited to an event in LA to play the game for the first time. I can't tell you much more than that right now, but I'll just say stay tuned to my channel because you won't want to miss what's coming. So let's get into the trailer breakdown. With a narrative focus of the trailer, it can be a little tough to know what's going to be reserved for the campaign versus what's in the multiplayer. But like most of the previous Battlefield games, a lot of the campaign is set in either the same or very similar environments to the multiplayer experience, so I think it's safe to say that we're going to be able to play multiplayer in most of the areas shown off. The opening gameplay shot shows police armed with military gear mixed in with soldiers. The scene is set in New York City, which is obviously a big focus for the trailer since the bad guys in BF6 storyline attack the Brooklyn Bridge at some point, blowing a huge section out of its middle. Throughout the trailer, we see some scenes implying larger naval operations, establishing a presence in a region. F-22s and F-16s are seen in the trailer. There's a blatant and much appreciated Top Gun shot ripoff, hopefully indicating that there will be some fun depth for pilots in this game. We also get to see some jets taking off from an aircraft carrier. There's a very classic scene showing Amtrak's launching from a carrier and moving towards a beach landing from that vessel. It gives me that Gulf of Oman vibe that was so well established back in BF2 and repeated in many titles after that. The scenes with the Black Hawk helicopter circling some under construction buildings with a minigun firing down upon them looks like it could be a shot directly out of a Gulf of Oman map. But this time there's clearly an emphasis on the increased engine destruction, far beyond what we've seen in any previous game. Another heavy theme throughout the trailer is night operations and MVGs. There's a ton of soldiers in the trailer wearing helmets equipped with flip-down MVGs. There's even a shot of a squad of soldiers at night with IR lasers and PID markers on their helmets. And considering that we get multiple views of the New York City map across different times of day, there may even be a possibility that the multiplayer maps could feature changing time of day effects similar to what we saw in Dawnbreaker from Battlefield 4, or possibly even gotten more dynamic beyond that. There's also a shot of soldiers running through trenches that reminded me a lot of scenes from Battlefield 5's map Twisted Steel. And given a little bit of highlights from a narrative storyline that was shown off a few days ago for this game, it indicated that France was leaving NATO, presumably to join the Pax Armada group, so this shot could actually be a remake of that Twisted Steel map taking place in France. Obviously, I'm just speculating at this point, but it would open up the game to have a lot of really fun combat environments all over the world. There's also a shot of an underground subway tunnel featuring a subway train being pursued by soldiers in armored jeeps. The paint job on the subway car looks like it's based on the MTA's money cars, which were in service in New York City until 2006. These trains were used to transport money from fares and services throughout the subway system, so maybe this scene involves some sort of bank heist. Now, aside from the emphasis on New York City, another interesting landmark featured in the trailer is this brief shot of the pyramids behind an Egyptian city, which is likely Cairo. Gibraltar was also heavily featured in the reveal trailer and was part of the game's early reveal concept art. Now, aside from these bigger details, the reveal trailer also confirmed some leaked info. The dam scene was previously leaked in an unfinished state by data miners. Destructible dams have been an ongoing theme of many Battlefield games, and it's very cool to see it returning here. There's also a shot of 5 soldiers airdropping onto the Gibraltar map, which could be a confirmation of the game's Battle Royale mode, or it could just be a campaign experience. Leaks have suggested that the Battle Royale mode will be free to play and set on a US map, but this trailer shot could indicate that there will be multiple Battle Royale maps. Again, this is just speculation at this point. Now, leading up to this trailer, there's been a ton of leaks regarding release dates and betas for Battlefield 6. This trailer confirms that the leaks for the multiplayer reveal will happen on July 31st. Pre-orders also seem like they will go live on that date, but wishlisting on PC and console platforms is currently available. The game's leaked release date is October 10th, with an open beta potentially happening on August 4th. It's also speculated that the base game will be roughly $80 US, depending on your region, of course. Now, overall, I think the Battlefield 6 reveal trailer did a good job. It is sort of a weird environment because while that trailer dropped, we also have Battlefield Labs going on, which has been leaking gameplay for months and months and months now, showing off what more or less is the multiplayer experience. And this leaked gameplay from Battlefield Labs has gone from a lot of gray box environments and things being clearly unfinished to a lot more polished looking gameplay. And while this trailer doesn't really show off the multiplayer, which will of course be shown off on the 31st, we still have a pretty big glimpse into what the multiplayer experience looks like, and so far it looks pretty good. And some of the controversial stuff like the weapons being class locked and stuff like that, DICE has responded to effectively and seems to be siding with the player base in a lot of these cases. So given the vibes of the trailer, the setting, the reliance on tried and true military technology, there isn't a lot of crazy high-tech stuff going on here. And DICE's willingness that seems to be interested in catering to the core fan base of Battlefield, at least from the Battlefield Labs feedback and their response to it, really seems like they're trying to appease the community here and nail what Battlefield is about. Now, all that said, I have not played Battlefield 6 in any capacity yet. I've seen the leaks like you guys have, and I've seen the reveal trailer, and I am just speculating based on that info. But as far as the vibe that is being established right now, I like it. It's getting me excited for the game. Obviously, with an expensive game like this and DICE's troubled past, I'm not going to tell anyone out there to pre-order the game or anything like that. Wait for the streams and the reviews if that makes more sense to you. But if you want to know more about this game, again, stay tuned to this channel. There's going to be a lot more coverage next week. And if you enjoyed this trailer breakdown, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more content like it. And if you want to see some of the crazy projects I've been working on while we wait for this Battlefield 6 launch, check out my latest game devlog for C-Beams. It's something I'm really proud of and have been working on hard for the past 18 months. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.